Hey everybody, welcome. Thanks for watching. As you saw in the title, this is a Canon nFD 85mm f1.8, and I bought this because it was messed up and I want to see if I can clean it, fix it, do whatever. So basically this is a repair video, and I took a chance on it, and we'll see if I can fix this. But this is the unboxing, and you can see whenever I open this up the condition that it's in. One of the things you always see in a lot of these unboxings is people getting a big old knife, and I have letter openers and box cutters, but whenever you need it, you can't ever find it. Alright, Foggy, Lint, and Fungus, all from Japan. The red light really helps show every little itty bitty details in there. So if you have a red light when you do stuff like this, use it. It works really well. It looks pretty bad. This thing was expensive too. I really like the look and the feel of these old prime lenses. Eventually I'm going to have all mine sim modded to an EF mount, but that's going to be really expensive because I think I have like 10 or 12 lenses to do. I completed my set, and I want to say it was like $1,500 for all of them, and the majority of them were bought in 2020 is when I completed them. So I've had this video for a while. It was just so long, there was just so much in trying to get the lens open. Yeah, I think there was like 3 or 4 hours of footage. And I did this with a webcam, which I'm never doing that again. The quality is very degraded, even though it's it's either a 720 or 1080p webcam, but still, never again. I'm not doing that. I'll tell you what though, the bigger the lens is from the nFD series, the harder they are to get open. I don't know about the telephotos, but I know the fixed primes, especially when it came to the 85mm, it was a lot harder. And then I also have a 20mm and I think a 17, but I can't even get the 20 or the 17 open. I've looked everywhere on how to open them. I've tried looking at it, trying to figure out how to open it. I don't want to break it, but there's nothing wrong with those lenses. There's no fungus or nothing like that, but I do want to clean the front lenses. I just can't get into them. There's no notches on there like this one to open it up. But one of these days maybe I'll attempt, or I could find something online. Maybe I have to send it to somebody, I don't know. But they get harder. I did mess with not a telephoto, but it was I think it was 100mm that I have. It was kind of messed up, and I took that one apart, and it was really hard. It's hard to work with because it's so long, and the mechanics in it they're all basically the same pretty much. So if you take apart a 50mm or a 35 or a 28mm, 80mm, they're all basically about the same on the inside. But the 20, 17, 15, and the, like fisheye lenses and stuff like that, super wide angles and stuff, they're different. Especially in the, what is it, like 1.8, 1.2s, 2.8s and stuff like that, or f4s. It doesn't matter, I don't think. They're all pretty much about the same, I guess, to open them up. At least from what I've seen anyways. You can see that just cleaning that front lens made a big difference. When you do this stuff, you want to wear gloves because you don't want to get your oils from your fingers on these, especially if you put it back together. So one of the things with this lens, I love this lens. It's badass. You can get some really, really crisp photos. And I took some pictures with it, with the fungus on there. Certain focal lengths, you get some haziness, especially when it's further away. But when it comes to close-ups with it, they're really nice, really sharp. You get a nice shallow depth of field and stuff, and it's just the bokeh, however you want to pronounce it. I'm just calling it bokeh because that's the American way to pronounce it, but it's actually pronounced bokeh. But I don't really care. Anyways, it's really nice. You get some nice bubbles from it. It's a nice lens all the way around. It was expensive too. I think I paid like $200 for it, even though it was jacked up. It was a gamble, and it's not really a loss, but it's still worth it. Like, I guess it's a rare lens, and the lens thing, I haven't kept track for like a year now, but Old lenses are just, prices are going through the roof. But if you can find them, even if they are messed up, if you watch one of these videos, you can probably fix it, clean it, and all that stuff. Sometimes, like when you open the packages up, I would, if I was you, probably blow them off or clean off the front optics right away, just because you don't know if that fungus is still growing or if it's toxic. You know, it's just a good idea to wear a mask. You know, I didn't, but I mean, just a good rule of thumb. I've cleaned, let me see. I did the 35 first. And I think this was the second one. And then the 100mm. I think that was the third one I cleaned up. I'm trying to think, is there any other ones I cleaned up? I think maybe a 50mm. I don't know. Either way, when you do a few of them, you kind of get the hang of it. And I felt pretty confident. A lot of these I bought for really cheap, like the 35mm. I have another video of me taking it apart and it was in bad shape. But I only paid like, I think it was like $8 for it or something like that. Something stupid. And like with shipping, it was like $20. So it was like $28, less than $30 for a 35 nFD 2.8. And that was a good deal. And even though it was kind of messed up, but still I cleaned it up really good. And then I ended up finding another one, and I think it was like $20 or something like that. I bought that one too, even though it was going for, like, at the time when I looked, it was going for like $250 to $300 for a 2.8 35mm lens. So I snatched it up right away. Overall, this lens looks really good. It's got a lot of weight to it. And it's a nice big front optic on it. Using a little special tool to open it up right there. And those things are necessary if you're going to do this. Like, you're going to fix your own lenses. That's necessary. You need this tool. I think it's like $10. But yeah, making these videos, you guys, subscribe, like them, comment, all sorts of stuff. It really does help little channels. You know what I mean? I noticed that my other lens video got a lot more views. That's why I decided to put this one up. And, you know, cutting down, especially if you don't know how to take it apart. Like, I assumed that this one was similar to the 35, and it is, but it has a lot more optics in it. So that's the thing you have to think about. Like, some of them have more optics than the other, and you know, doing it yourself with no reference can take you easily like 4 or 5 hours like that, you know what I mean? And there's some good resources out there on YouTube, but sometimes you just can't find the video that you're looking for. And that's what happened to me. Like, I was trying to find this lens in a full in-depth, something that wasn't super edited, super chopped up. And I kind of made that mistake with the first video that I did. Like, I should have gone a little bit more in depth, but you know what I mean? Like, I started learning more stuff, video editing wise, and YouTube. I started putting chapters in my videos, and just started doing that. It makes it easier for you guys, and hopefully this video helps somebody too. But there might be a video out there now, I don't know, but when I was recording this, there wasn't nothing that I could find. So I'm cleaning the back lens right here. And when you do this, you want to use Q-tips and these little cleaning like microfiber wipes. They're disposable. It doesn't really matter which one you do first. You can use the vinegar, or you can use the isopropyl alcohol. But I think to finish it off, you want to use the alcohol. It's going to get a better clean, like taking off most of the little particles and dust and stuff like that. So it's kind of vinegar first, kill the fungus, and then go over it with some alcohol. And whenever I was taking these lenses out, I was always putting so like when I take it out, one side is like kind of flat and then the other side is like rounded. I always kept the round side up. And so you just lightly press Q-tips on there, or your wipes. And it is tricky, and it's not easy. It really isn't. I got the sides too. I want to get everything. But I didn't want to just leave it inside like a bath of alcohol and or vinegar, because if you leave it in there too long, you can probably eat the coatings that are whatever's left on them. Or you could possibly delaminate the lens, and you don't want that. If you don't know what that means, it's basically some pieces are glued together with like, I don't know, maybe like epoxy or something similar to it, and if they separate, that's delamination. And then you're kind of screwed. I don't know what you would do after that. You'd have to, I don't know, find somebody, or it's possible to use ultraviolet glue or something. I don't know. I'm not even going to tell you how to do it because I don't know. But even when I get in there, like, once I start getting further and further, you want to blow it out, get all the dust and everything, and clean as much as you can. Like, everything that you can touch with a Q-tip or a wipe, you want to clean it, blow it out, get all the stuff out. I'll tell you what though, I did have fun doing this. Like, I had fun cleaning the other one, especially the 35mm. That one was so bad. There was so much grime in there. And it was like hard, like fuzzy stuff. Like, it was some kind of fungus growing in there, and then all of a sudden like dried out, and it got like super hard and crunchy, and it was just stuck on the metal, and you could tell like that's not how they made that. Because I looked at another lens and it was not like that. That's why I was like, what the hell? But yeah, like, I'll try to point it out whenever I get further down the video, but it was fun cleaning it, and it looked like brand new when I was done cleaning it. And whenever you do this stuff, vinegar is your friend. So if you get some really bad ones, the rings and stuff, the metal pieces, you can just let them sit in vinegar bath. It's not gonna hurt it. Just don't do the lens, the actual optics itself, because it might eat the coating. You just want to wipe it off, and you wipe the fungus, and then you wipe the dust, and then for that extra, super clarity, that little extra mile, you'd use the alcohol. And in some cases, and since I have two 35mm lenses, I might go back and I might take the coating off of that 35, because I have two of them now, just to get the little, and it doesn't affect the photos at all, but there's like the fungus like acid etched the back of the lens, and you put water on it and it disappears, and when it dries off, it's right there, like these little kind of like little specks, like foggy little kind of circles and stuff on the back. And from what I've read, it's etched. You can know when it's etched, or you can know when it's delaminated. You can know when it's like this one, there's a slight fogginess in the front, and I think it's kind of etched, but it's, or maybe even possibly somebody went in and used something a lot stronger and tried to attempt it at one point in time and kind of messed it up. I don't know, but you'll see at the end, like, I'll point it out, and maybe you guys might know, but I do believe when I took this one apart, it did look like somebody took it apart at one time, and it must have been a long time ago. But even if somebody did, this came from Japan. You know what I mean? I've been there, and it is super, super humid over there. You have no idea. And some places you have to keep your lenses in an airtight container with rice to prevent it from getting moisture in there. But it is very hot over there, very humid. See, there I go with the wipe. That one's probably the alcohol. And look at that. It's big difference. Big difference. And you have to do this several times, because sometimes you go back in there and dust falls back on, and then you have to do it again. Or you miss a corner or something. That's why you need the little ball air thing to blow them out and get all the dust and stuff. And you do want little suctions, you're gonna need those. They sell a kit. It's like these little rubber mold things, and they're meant to unscrew the lens, because some of them don't have the little tabs on there like that, and you have to use it to take off the little cover thing on the front of the lens. On the Canons, some of them you can slide a pick under and pull it up, and others you have to screw off. And this one was the one you have to screw off. And I tried doing something similar with the 20mm and stuff like that, and it didn't want to budge. So I don't know. I don't want to break it, and it was expensive. My 20mm was like $250 in 2020, and the 17 was roughly like, I think like 300 or maybe around 250 or something. Those ones were the more expensive ones. I think the cheapest one I bought was like the 35 for like $28. And then back in like 2011 when I started buying these, something like that, it was like 2011, 2012, I was watching people online, and they were buying the adapters and stuff for these older lenses, and I was like, you know what, that's pretty cool. And I'm probably gonna make another video about it, talking about the prices on what I paid for all these, and when is a good time to buy them and when's not, because like some of the people, I've watched lenses on eBay and Amazon, and they're just outrageously priced, and I just keep them in my watch list, and every once in a while I get a offer, even though I've already offered these people from Japan, like, you know, what I thought was fair from what I was reading at the time, because I was going by KEH and what they were selling them for, you know, the going rate, and they didn't want to budge. But then like a few months later, they're like, hey, guess what, or best offer. And you know, sometimes they'll knock it down to what you wanted or close to it, and you know, and I've talked to people when that's happened, and I've got them for decent prices. And a lot of them, the ones that I'm talking about, like these types of lenses, are messed up, and they want like $500 for a lens. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's a rare lens, but you know what? It's also got fungus, and a lot of people don't mess with that, especially professionals. There's not a lot of professionals you can just take them to, and you know, they'll clean them, because I've asked in my town, and nobody will touch them, because first of all, they're this old and they have fungus, and they're like, fungus? They're like, we're not touching it. So that's why I did this. That's why I was like, you know what, I'm gonna see right here on the 35, you can just put it under, it just slips over. This one doesn't do that. You actually have to unscrew it, unscrew that piece. But lesson learned, you know, you need a big rubber thing to press up against it and then twist it off counterclockwise. You can see the little threads in there, and it's not just for the step-up rings and your lens caps, it's for that too. Like, it literally, you have to unscrew it all the way. But yeah, people just don't they don't mess with them. They don't want to mess with Japanese fungus. They don't want to get, you know, something nasty from over there and then that shit grow in your lungs. Like, that's what I'm saying, wear a mask. I got lucky, nothing happened to me. But don't do that. Like, next time, like when I do one of these, I'll wear a mask, because, you know, been through too much already. Corona, cancer, you know, a lot of stuff. Losing people, and you know, life's too short. You know what I mean? Just especially if you have little ones or people that are close, like, just safety first. You know, you're gonna feel like a dork, but you know what? Some of this shit will save your life. And I don't know what I am doing. Okay, see, I think this is where I got that, nope, it doesn't have the... I think I was just trying to get a grip with the paper towel. But what I ended up using was a handle grip from like a dirt bike, and I used a like a hydro flask, and it was just the perfect size, and I just pushed it up against there and I was able to twist it off, and you'll see that here in a second. I should have cut this out, but I literally try to cut this down without giving up you know, some important details and taking it apart and cleaning it. And look at that, it's just, it looks so much better. Don't do what I'm doing. I'm lucky I didn't scratch the front. Yep, looking back, I'm just like, nope, don't do it, dude. I can't believe I did that. One thing though, when you do get these off, it wouldn't be a bad idea to get like a little I don't know, like a reciprocating saw, not a reciprocating saw, like a jigsaw or a coping saw or something that can cut metal, and cut a little notch in the ring and clean it up with sandpaper, so then that way when you do need to unscrew it, you don't have to use these. I might do that with this, I don't know, later on, it just depends. I really want to get mine sim modded, but I want to keep all the pieces. And declicking these, like, I think I declicked, yeah, I did click the 35mm. Whenever I do get them sim modded and stuff, I'll probably declick them, but who knows when that's gonna happen. It's gonna be a lot of money. I think it's like $200 a lens, and I got like 10 lenses, 10 or 12, I don't know, I have to look in my case. I'll probably, when I do make the other video on talking about prices and stuff, I'll show off all the lenses and my case for all the lenses and you know, just the gear that's ready to go. And it's gonna be, they're all primes, and that's the stuff that I'm gonna be using for recording, you know, certain videos and, you know, videography type of stuff, cinematography. I did a good job on it. And there's that there's the grip and the bottle. I was just like, you know what, Maybe this might work. Twist, twist, twist. Yeah, it's loose. And you could see, you could tell. See, you have to you use all the threads all the way up. Yeah, that was a pain. Right here, I had to clean it up, double check, make sure I didn't mess up the front. And you can see nothing happened. And it looks like we have to use the tool again, because there's another ring, obviously. I think this video is like an hour and a half or something like that. But I want you guys to see what you got to go through, you know, because you'll see basically every step of the way on what I had to do. And you know, you can always fast forward step by step. I'll add the chapters in here whenever I upload it. Well, when you watch this, it'll be uploaded and it'll have the chapters. But right now, doing the voiceover, I get to watch this for like the 10th time. Oh man. So yeah, you see how I'm using that tool? This one had little pinholes, and some of them have like a little notch cut out. And I'm just trying to get it off fairly quickly. Yeah, so if you do these, you're gonna need little suctions. I got mine from all the phones and stuff that I fixed. So I have a bunch of them. Look at that barrel. Nice quality, mechanical. Just built to last. You know what I mean? That's why I like these old lenses. And I love the color green that's on there. That's like my favorite color. But looks like I'm getting some alcohol, probably. Use both alcohol and vinegar and get in there. Just wipe everything. You want to get all that stuff off. And also you want some grease when you redo these. You know, I went back later and put grease in there. At the time I didn't have any, so, and I didn't use them either. You know, they've just been sitting in a case. But you really want to grease up the certain parts that you need. Oh, that's the lighter fluid. Okay. Lighter fluid is like last resort. Your first resort is always your vinegar, then your alcohol, then your lighter fluid. I totally forgot about the lighter fluid. That's the one that will get all the nasties. It's like you do it in steps. But yeah, if you don't have to use the lighter fluid, don't use it. I used it on these lenses because they're already messed up, and I'm taking a chance. I need to see if the stuff on the lens will come off. You know what I mean? And that is just it's just something you kind of have to do. But if your lens is not even that bad, like let's just say there's some dust in there, vinegar, air, and some maybe some isopropyl alcohol, and that's all you need. But the Fungus ones, you're gonna have to use some stuff. Now when I'm doing the aperture blades, you want to be very careful. Nice and gentle. You don't really want to press on them, but you do want to clean them. I have seen other people and listings on eBay. They said that they greased the aperture, and I'm all thinking like, why? Like, and I've seen other people say the same thing. They're like, you don't grease the aperture. Like, I don't know. I would rather have a dry aperture than one that's oily, especially if you don't have the right oil. Like, maybe they greased them, or not greased them, oiled them back in the day with a very, very thin, viscous oil. But I don't know what they're using, so I just use the lighter fluid, clean them, dry them off. It ain't gonna hurt it, but you will kill the fungus in there. And then the majority of this is just kind of, you know, getting in every nook and cranny and, you know, just getting in there. And again, with the light, it really shows everything. Like you can see, like without the light, it looked pretty clean, but you get the red light. See, this one kind of blows it out. Like you can see it in there with the purple light. And the light I'm using is one for hunting and stuff like that. One of them's for blood, and then the other one's just for like at night reading your map type of thing. It's made by Remington, and it has 3 sets of LEDs in there, or 6 sets, or no, there's 6 LEDs. 3 of them are for the red and 3 are for the bluish UV white light. And it said on the packaging it was for blood, to track blood and stuff, but I don't know. I use it for my lenses. And right here I'm cleaning up all the metal, anything that could possibly have spores of mold or fungus on there. Like this piece right here, like I could have just probably dropped it in freaking vinegar after all the lenses were out, but you really want to keep track of every single lens and which way it's facing and which way you take it out, because I think some of them are, I think even though they bulge out, I think some of them are backwards. I don't remember, but you definitely want to pay attention on which ones you take out. And but yeah, I mean, looking back at this, there's definitely things that I would have done different. And you know, this is for you guys. You are learning how to take apart this lens. Maybe it's not even this lens, but something similar to it. You know, you got a good idea. But I did make some mistakes in there, and you know, don't make my mistake. You can do it a lot better than me. A lot of the times when I'm looking at this, I'm just kind of thinking, I'm like, what do I do next? Like, what part can I clean? What, you know? There's a lot of thinking involved, especially if you've never taken it apart. Some of it's just admiration. Look how much better it looks. Look how much cleaner. And you can still tell there's some fungus in there. And we want to go in there and get it all out. But I can't even tell you how beautiful the pictures come out. Like this lens, if you can find it, even if it's jacked up and it's $200, buy it and watch this video, because it's worth it. And a lot of newer lenses and stuff, like, they just don't make them the same way. And you know, like, you can always go and modify it. You can get the sim mod kit and you can turn it into a different mount. You know what I mean? Like, I think they have them for Leicas and Nikon, I think, and you know, the Canons, the EF mounts. And I think they might have a different mount too. I think maybe they have PL. I don't know. I can check real quick. I don't think it's gonna hurt my what I'm doing. Just dubbing over. Let's see. Let's see, the SIN service. And I'm not being sponsored by them. I'm not trying to be like, hey, go get their stuff. But they're pretty much the only ones and the cheapest ones, and just a bunch of reasons, you know, just to go with them. They have the most options. There's some other people, I don't remember who does it, but they can rehouse them and you can get them fully, like, they'll just take the lenses out and just remachine you a whole new housing for it. But that's a lot of money. Mark Holtz. I watched his videos before. He's a pretty cool guy. I've talked to him on Twitter. And, yeah. Looks like he's a pro member. Alright, so you got, like, QBM. I don't know what that is. Leica R. Contact Zeiss. Edmica FD, which is Canon. And then the nFD. Olympus. Nikon. More Edmica. Oh, those are the upgrades. So, yeah, let's see what I'm looking at. What is this? The upgrade. I think it's this one. EF conversion. Let's say I want to do my 20mm 2.8. Do legacy aperture. And add it to cart. I wouldn't send my shit over there. I would just get the kit, do it myself. You know, I already taken the lens apart. I ain't afraid to put on. And it's not that hard to do. It takes like, I think like 10 minutes or something from what I've seen. But brass Edmica FD. Oh wait, that's FD, that's not nFD. Anyway, they're about the same price, whatever. But you're looking at 155. And I think the other ones are still pretty close to the same thing. Grab my calculator. Let's see, 155 times 10. I'm looking at $1,500 roughly before taxes to get them all sim mod. So, yeah, there's that. It's expensive. You're doing this, you know, make sure you only have one hobby, because I got a bunch and it is not cheap, especially this stuff. I just remember doing this so many times, even it's not even on the video, but I don't think, but taking these lenses on and off so many times because I found like little speckles of stuff in there, and I go back and redo it. This way works the best a lot of the times. Just do it in your hand and it'll slide out. Or give it a couple gushes of vinegar in there. Let it kind of soak in and then slam it into the palm of your hand. I think that's what I'm doing right here, is just kind of getting trying to get the liquid in there so it'll come out. Kind of like buttering it up. Okay, put some more on there, get it nice and wet. I just try to pull it out several times anyway, or if you're trying to do it, just try to pull it out. Try to loosen it up. But the 85mm is a pain. You see I'm smacking it around. Get out. Yeah, the 35 I didn't have this much issues. So one thing I noticed on this, the back piece right there, I think there was like some little holes. Yeah, you can take them off. And I think I ended up taking out the back lenses. We'll see here in a sec, but I think I take out the back elements and then I just push the front one out. What the hell am I doing here? Let's see. What am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, there was like a snap ring in there or something, I guess. There's that element. I don't know if there's another one that you have to get through. It's probably like... See, I'm like trying to push. Yep. That's some fungus on there too. It was in all of them. On like pretty much every single lens. What am I doing? Yeah, even then, like, there's a good amount of pieces out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, basically, compared to the rest of the barrel that we took out. And, yeah, there's a lot of pieces in there. If you know somebody, if you don't want to do this, but you want to get it done cheap, try to find somebody that is good with lenses, that's good with electronics and stuff like that. You know what I mean? If you are good with that kind of stuff, you know, you can do this. But if you don't feel comfortable with it, you know, find somebody else that is comfortable doing this type of stuff and, you know, try to get them to do it. Because, like, there's a couple times I almost messed this lens up and I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I mean, not like 100%, but like, you know, show them the video and just be like, hey, this guy did this, and, you know, just watch his video. I'm just saying for the type of people that are, you know, like some people have shaky hands, or some people are just like, I'm not good at putting stuff back together because I end up with like 5 screws. You know what I mean? Like, but that's why I'm kind of doing this, like the super long version of this, so you can see. But if you know somebody that can do it better, let them do it. You know, I did this because I can't find nobody here to do it, and plus I wanted to do it. Just looking through. Look at all that nasty fungi. Cleaning up every piece again. Like I said, you gotta go back and forth, back and forth. You know, you put it back together and you're like, oh, there's a piece of lint in there. That's no joke. I mean, I try to do this as clean as possible. That's why I had this little setup. And even then, like, I was getting like little pieces of lint and dust particles and all sorts of stuff. You're gonna have to blow it out with the air all the time. So I believe that other element that was in there, I think that was the back side of it. I think it was just like stuck in there, and there's just really no way of getting out. So cleaning the back side of it and then the front side of it, and then putting the rear element back in there with the snap ring. Seems like that was the best choice to do that. I don't know if the element was glued in there. You know what I mean? Because I did say, like, it kind of seemed like somebody may have been in there at one time, and who knows what they did. Or maybe the person that was selling tried to fix it, and they're like, oh, I messed it up even more. Like, I don't know. And then could have been sitting in a box and then grew back mold and stuff. And if you don't do it the right way, it will come back, especially in those humid environments. That's why a lot of places, and you know, if you're new to cameras and lenses and stuff, like, some of the first things that people were telling me, they're like, oh, get a little bag of rice or silicone and put it in your lens cap, and you know, put it away to keep stuff from moisture building up. And you know, not all lens caps you can do that. So you'd have to have a container. My suggestion is, you're gonna get into lenses and do this stuff, just buy a case, go to Harbor Freight and get like their similar versions to a Pelican case. That's what I did, and I got it with a coupon, and I think I paid like $40 or $50 for the big case, and I fit all my lenses, a light, my field recorder, I think like extra batteries and stuff, and filters and all sorts of crap I put in there. And it is watertight, so you can actually there's a little turning knob on the front, and you can get it to basically like get all the air out of there. Like, it'll be sealed tight. It has a seal that goes all the way around it. And yeah, when all that air comes out, like, I don't know how it works, but like, I remember one time I was trying to open it up and I couldn't open it up. I had to pull really, really hard because it was like a suction in there, and it wasn't like, you know, like a can of milk or something, or one of those paper cartons that kind of blowed up. It wasn't like that. It was like imploding almost. Like, it was like there was like all the air was taken out, and like I had to pull really hard on the seal to crack it open. And I was playing with the knob, like going back and forth and like trying to open it up. But that was good because, you know, you don't get no moisture, you don't get no water in there. And if you're going to get a bunch of these lenses and create a set, just do something similar to that. Like, where I live, it's super dry. There's no humidity at like any point in the year. So like, I don't have to worry about that in places like, you know, Texas or California and stuff like that, Florida, or, you know, hot climates. But you know, even then, you know what I mean? Like, I just kept them in a little Canon backpack bag for the longest time, and every once in a while they get some, you know, some dust in there, and I just blow them out. But I don't ever have to worry about humidity, and if it does rain or something, like, I'm always putting something over my lenses, like a protective layer, you know, like some kind of bag, or, you know, something or get under an umbrella or something like that. And then when I'm done, as soon as I get home or in the car, if it's really bad, I'll blow it off. If I have compressed air or, you know, something like that, and then I dry it off. That's the time where I'm like, I got a container, I can put it in with rice and stuff, and or silicone, and get all that moisture out. But you know, these lenses, they're just getting more and more expensive, and you know, they don't make them anymore. They haven't for a long time. So finding them, that's why these prices are just starting to go up and up. And you know, people fix them and clean them and resell them. And then they ask for more because, you know, the time that goes into this is a lot of time and work, and you have to have special tools and all that stuff, and you're paying a premium for these old lenses because new fixed prime lenses are really, really expensive. And there's this company, I think it's like Rockinon or something like that. They make cheap primes. They're like a Chinese company, I think. And there's a lot of people that buy those and then come to find out, because everything is made of plastic, all the wear and tear rubbing against each other for so many times. And they're $300 primes. They're nice, but they don't last forever. And these, you know, they've stood the test of time. These were made, I think, in like, oh man, I don't want to be wrong or nothing, but at least like the 80s. You know what I mean? It might be a little bit longer than that. They might be from the 70s, and some of them might be even from 60s, from what I recall. But the nFD has been out for a while. I'm just gonna Google it and find out, because I don't know. Let's see. Yep, some more cleaning again. I guess I'll just check wiki. Let's see. It was introduced. Canon FD lens mount. It says it was 1971 in March. And you know what? I think there was a website. It was from Canon, and it showed every single lens and the year. I want to say it was Canon. It wasn't Time Machine. It was like something like that. Look at that. That is sharp. That is super clean. I'm putting it back together now because how many times I had to go in there and clean all that. I think it was Canon history. History of Canon from global.canon. That's what it is. Let's see. Oh, Canon Camera Museum. I remember that now. Yeah. Evolution of the Canon lens mount. We'll go to the nFD. FDs came out in 1970 to 1979. FD mount, a spigot mount supporting TTL metering at maximum aperture and featured as a predecessor of the automatic exposure, the AE mechanism. Compatible cameras is the f1, etc. Compatible lenses is the FD 50mm, f1.4, super coated something, etc. But the new FD, the nFD, came out from 1979 to 1989. So, if my math is right, that was a long ass time ago. Cause I ain't good with math. It's like, 80, 90, 2000. It was like 50 years ago. 20 years, 40 years. It was like 40 something, whatever. I might have to erase this and redo this. But yeah. The EF mount I know came out right after that. 1987, and it's still in production. It was a good mount. EFM mount. Let's see, 2012. Oh, that's the mirrorless. EF mirrorless mount. And then the RF mount came out in 2018. That's another mirrorless for the Canon R. But yeah, a little history lesson. Late 70s, these lenses came out, and pretty much throughout the 80s. Yeah. So they had a 10-year run. But they're really good. And the best way to start out, if you're gonna get these, just get a beater up lens like this. Even if you have bought a Canon, like a newer Canon, like an EF mount, you buy a Canon Mark II, or 70 or something like that, or a Mark IV or Mark III, and it's used or something like that. It's not a bad idea to get these older lenses and fix them up and buy an adapter. Photodiox makes the best ones, by the way. If you're going to look into that, just go with Photodiox. They have a bunch of off-brand ones, but Photodiox is like one of the first people that were doing it. That was one of the first adapters that I bought. And you can buy them now with the confirmation chip in there. I had to buy the chips from China and glue it in with like epoxy. And you can just buy them like that now. Let's see what these cost. 1.8. because I don't even know. I bought mine a long time ago. We're gonna sort to the lowest price on eBay. And you gotta watch out because some of them are not Canon. Some of them are Vivitar. Some of them are, I think it starts with an A, like, it's like albacore. Kind of sounds like albacore or something. I don't know what it is. Albane or whatever. But, 300 bucks is the cheapest on eBay right now as of 1/21 of 22. Excellent is 4-star. 4-star condition, and I've seen this one before. And you can see on the front of it, there is fungus in there. And there is what looks like either etching or delamination of the front optic. You can see there's something else. Oh yeah, the back lens has got a buttload of freaking fungus on it. Yep, and if you're watching, I'm not even paying attention to the video. I mean, you can just watch me just do what I'm doing, but yeah, that's for one with fungus. And they're saying it's a 4-star. I don't know out of how many, but you're gonna pay a lot for this lens if you are looking into buying it. And there's not a big selection. They're not super like outrageously priced, but they're not cheap either. $300, $330 with shipping. But if you do look into getting it, talk them down. Like even if it doesn't say or best offer or something like that, or send them a message and be like, hey, this thing's got, you know, fungus on it. This is not in perfect condition. Like, tell them, you know what I mean? Like, oh wow, this is jacked up in the back too. It's like a big old notch cut out that they messed up with somebody. You can see somebody's been into it just by looking at this back. They really messed it up trying to open it up. Yeah, see, like, to me, that's not worth $330. Talk them down. Just send them a message. They're either going to say yes or no. And a lot of the times, when I was buying these lenses, there was no or best offer. I just, like, some message, and I was like, hey, I see there's some damage on there, and blah, blah, blah. Are you willing to go, you know, X amount of dollars for it? And, you know, sometimes they're like, okay. They're like, you know what I mean? Because a lot of these have been sitting there for a long time. Like a long, long time. And, you know, either they have a bunch of lenses and stuff, or, you know, of course they're going to try to get top dollar. But I'm just going to see what this guy has. See what other items he has for sale. Because, like, you know, he might be, like, too busy with other stuff. He's got a shitload of lenses on here. I mean, shitload. So, like, you know what I mean? He's just holding all this stuff and it's like, oh yeah, like, I'll take $50 or $100 or whatever you think is fair. He's got a bunch of lenses and cameras and stuff. So, you know what I mean? How much time do you have, you know what I mean, to go back and redo all your listings in eBay? Oh wow. So this is an NFD that I'm just kind of coming across. 340 bucks. 35 f2. This guy wants $6,200 for a 14mm f2.8 wide angle. Like, I don't know, that's not worth it. And he's like the only person that has one on there from what I've seen. So definitely looking in there. Okay, so yep, gotta screw that thing back on. Now I'm gonna have to clean it again. But this is nearing the end of the video. Had to go through it, clean it again. But here in a second, I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison before and after. And you will see, because you watched from the beginning, hopefully watched all this, listened to my commentary. You know what I mean? See, you can still see there's like some like little circle thing like right there. Like it kind of looks like a scratch, but it's in the lens underneath. It's not on the outer optic, and I couldn't get that off. And it doesn't affect the lens. Here we go. See, before and after. See, there's that slight ring on the right hand side, and then the left side you can see all the fungus and everything, and you can see it's 10 times better. It really is. But it was bugging me. I wasn't going to use the lens with fungus in there and have it possibly contaminate my other lenses by, you know, I have all mine uniform. They all have the same step up ring. They all have the same caps on them, and I'm using the same adapter on all of these currently. And you don't want to contaminate your other lenses. That's a big difference though. That is a huge difference. And here we go. Look at this after all of that work. Let's grab the light, and oh, there's some lint back there. I was very meticulous when I did this. And you know what? When you do this, like, this can happen to you. Eventually one day I'll go back and re-clean it or something, and maybe I can figure out the whole situation, what's up with that front lens underneath, and maybe I can fix that. See, like, I'm going back. I'm like, maybe it's my adapter. Maybe there's some dust on it, but nope, it's in the lens. But you ain't gonna have no fungus growing in there. And let's see. Doing a little more cleaning to that. There's still some dust or something on there. Before and afters though, you can tell a slight difference from the photographs. Well, that was it. Like, comment, subscribe if you like my video. Consider, any of that stuff. And maybe I'll make more videos like this. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.